Hi everyone, my name is Lynette and welcome to the practice of Yin Yoga. Today we're going to be focusing on the liver. And in Chinese medicine and Yin Yoga, the organs are important centers for energy storage and distribution. And the liver, energy if you will, is important for the vitality of all parts of the body. So before we begin the poses, just take a comfortable position and close your eyes. Make sure your shoulders can relax. So the hands are in a comfortable position. You can always lay down if sitting doesn't feel good for you. Drop your chin slightly and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Do that a few times until you feel like your body's grounding down, until you feel like you're sinking into the space beneath you, giving yourself permission to be here, to begin this practice, to have this time just for you. Just notice the flow of air as it moves in and out of your nose or mouth. And as you place your attention on your breath, the breath may change. Perhaps as you sit here a little bit, the breath starts to get a little deeper. You can take in a deep breath and you can exhale even more. Maybe exhaling more than you have all day or all week. And just soften anywhere you notice that you're holding tension, like the eyes and the jaw. The shoulders drop away from the ears and the fingers relax. Breathing in, you're aware of the sensations in the body. Breathing out, you relax the body. Inhale, exhale. In Yin Yoga, I like to think about the Yoga Sutra, Sthira Sukham Asanam, which basically translates as effort without tension and relaxation without dullness. So finding these qualities in the body as you practice today. If you feel like opening your eyes, you can bring your ear side to side or roll your shoulders a few times. And then we're going to make our way into the first pose, which will be Sphinx pose. So you're coming onto your belly and onto your arms. You want the elbows right under the shoulders, not behind the shoulders. That puts too much pressure onto them. Maybe slightly ahead, that's okay. And you can relax the head all the way, or you can keep it up. As long as you're not really active here. Remember in Yin, there's this passive quality to the practice. If you would like to go a little deeper to begin, or in a few minutes, we're going to be here for about 5 minutes, you can place blocks under your elbows. So you can be in the same position, you're just going to place your elbows on the blocks to raise the floor up a little higher. You can always rest a block under your forehead too. And if this is too much for you, you can always lay on your belly and just rest your head on your forearms in front of your forehead. So just keep that in mind. We want to start with Sphinx today because through this compression, we're going to stimulate the kidney meridian lines. So breathing in and breathing out, and whenever I talk about meridian lines, we're releasing stagnation from these energy lines in the body. So as you breathe in, you're aware of the sensations in the body. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, you relax the body. So instead of holding yourself up intensely, because we're here for a few minutes, try to drop down into the pose. Try to relax as much as you can, even though you are holding yourself up essentially. So again, breathing in, aware of the sensations in the body, breathing out. So we're activating the kidney lines because that helps to activate the liver and gallbladder lines. So that's why we're starting with that. The kidneys' energy helps to support all of the internal organs. Whether you're looking up or looking down, just try to relax the body and the shoulders as much as you can. Focus on the flow of your breath. Focus on the inhale and the exhale. And every time you notice yourself tensing up, relax. Breathing in, breathing out. Meridian lines, if you don't know, conduct energy throughout the whole body. These conduits form a network, and if the network is disturbed, blockages can appear and imbalances in the body arise. So when the meridians are clear, energy flows freely. And that's what we're doing in the practice of Yin. Keeping these channels clear so energy can flow. Inhale and exhale. So if you're up on the blocks, you can slowly lower down. And then everyone will just slowly lower down to your belly. And turn your head to one side and just rest. So really important in these practices to come back down to a neutral position and pause. It's called the rebound. We're giving our body a chance to reset. And what's interesting is in Yin Yoga, You can turn your head if you'd like. In Yin Yoga, the different organs, which aren't just the physical entities, they're there for function as well. And the function is to, like I said, allow this energy in the body to flow optimally. And the liver holds anger and kindness. The organs hold, kind of the flip side of the same coin. So the liver is often associated to both anger and kindness. So throughout the practice today, just really focusing on your breath and how it nourishes you, takes care of you. You can slowly and gently press back to a child's pose. Take a deep breath into the back body and a full breath out. And when you're thinking about nourishing yourself, it's like you're being your own mother, just taking care of you. If you notice any critical thinking, just notice that's happening and bring your attention back to your heart and back to this feeling of caring for and nourishing yourself. With each deep breath in, you nourish your body. With each breath out, you allow your body to soften and you allow tension to release. Inhale, let, exhale, go. All right, we're going to slowly lift up. And we're going to set up for swan pose with the right leg forward. Swan is the yin name for pigeon, but we call them different names, so we approach them differently, more passively. We're going to do this swan supported. So I have two blocks. One's going to go under my head, one's going to go under my chest, and then the blanket is folded smoothly and it's going to go under my hip or my leg. So from hands and knees, I am going to bring the right knee towards my right wrist. And then I'm just setting up that blanket, and you might need 2 blankets, you might need 3, so that it touches your body. And I'm just resting on the blanket there. And I'm going to just take a few breaths in awake swan. So I'm not going down yet, I'm just taking a few breaths, lifting my chest, maybe the head slightly. Take a deep breath in and out. Enjoy that stretch there. Make sure you feel supported. Again, if you need more height under you, you add that. Inhale, and then as you exhale, start to bring yourself down. And the block under my chest is running lengthwise down the center, and you'll need to adjust that so it fits you. So my sternum basically can rest, and then I have the top block for my forehead. So we're in this swan shape, but we're also supported in a way where we feel like we're being held. Remember, we're creating that energy of kindness towards ourselves. How can we be kind to ourselves and take care of ourselves and support ourselves? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. So knowing that, allow yourself to soften as much as you can. Softening the jaw, the eyes, the shoulders, and anywhere else where you notice that you hold on to tension. So whenever we practice hip openers and twists, that's going to stimulate the liver and gallbladder lines really well. And we're targeting the liver, but there's always an opposite organ to go along with that. And with the liver, that's the gallbladder. So just remember, we can enhance the flow of energy along these meridian lines with our breath and our awareness. So again, nice deep breath in and a full breath out, letting go, letting go, letting go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And just stay here and breathe. Effort without tension, relaxation without dullness. Sthira Sukham Asanam. So remember, the liver regulates this chi flow, and chi is considered like the life force. It's a subtle energy that is moving the universe. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. All right, time flies when you're having fun. You can slowly rise, and again, just take a deep breath in to get a nice stretch through the front. And you can release back to hands and knees and child's pose, or I like to go into a down dog. You can stretch out your legs. Again, this is just a pause to reset. So just moving in any way that feels good, or don't move. A lot of times it's preferable just to actually be still, observe the sensations in the body. And feel free to rest as long as you need to. The next pose we're going to make our way into, though, is shoelace with the left knee on top. So you can start from hands and knees, and you can slide your left knee on top. Or get into the pose however you can. Now, I like to have something under me. I just have a blanket. You might want a block to create more space. If you have space between knees, you can put a blanket or block there. try to find a position where you feel like you're balanced equally on both sides. You don't want to be leaning to one side. And then of course, if this pose doesn't work for your knees, see if you can just come into a simple cross-leg position with that left leg on top. It's not exactly the same, but you may still get a stretch through the outer hip glute area. You can always do shoelace on your back as well. Same position, you're just guiding the knees in towards you. So keep that in mind if you'd rather do that. And then just settle in, just give yourself a minute to land in the pose. Notice the sensations in the body. Take a deep breath in and out. Soften the shoulders and the jaw. And before we go down into this, we're going to move a little into the upper body. So inhale, and as you exhale, just gently twist to the left. So your left leg's on top, you're twisting to the left. And take a few deep breaths here. Again, twists help to assist this flow of energy throughout the body, specifically the liver and gallbladder. And then you can slowly come back to center. Take your time. Now we're going to side bend over to the right. So your left arm reaches up and over to the right. I like to place a block under that right hand or arm. You could also prop your elbow up on the block and rest your head in your hand. And right now I just have my arm overhead because we're not going to be here too long. So just feel a nice stretch through the whole side body. You can always bend the left elbow and relax the hand behind your head. Breathe into that left side of the body. Soften the eyes, soften the jaw, keep breathing. Remember, effort without tension. Make this passive even though it's a little active. And then you can slowly help your head up with your hand if you want. Come up. Take another breath or two. And then if you want more, if you want to feel more intensity, more of a stretching sensation, you can start to fold forward. And we'll stay here for a few minutes. So coming all the way to the ground, or remember, you can always bring the ground up to you by using props. So just always have props when you come to my class. I'll always use them. You can rest your head, you can let your head hang, but let go. Inhale, exhale, let your body relax. Just keep in mind that this pose may or may not help or aggravate sciatica, one or the other. So just be aware. If you have sciatica issues and this does not feel like it's the right pose for you, you can stretch out that bottom leg. It doesn't have to be bent, and anyone can do that too to make it a little easier, if you will. If you have any issues with the low back, maybe don't bend forward, right? Just stay up. Always listen to your body. Please listen to your body. It's so wise. It's always guiding you. The practice of Yin Yoga really allows us to listen. After a few more breaths, you can slowly come up. If you need to stay, stay. Just listen to the sound of my voice so you know what to do next. Now, moaning and groaning is always allowed in my class. You can slowly release. And again, just stretch out the legs if you want. And I like to release with a few windshield wipers or just shake out your legs. So you can stretch them out and wiggle them around, or you can rock your knees side to side, getting some internal and external rotation in the hip joints. Rest as long as you need to. For time's sake, I'm going to move into the next pose, which is going back to swan, but on the other side. So now the left knee is going to be forward in swan. So set those props up again. So you have the blanket, which will be under the pelvis area, and then you have the 2 blocks. I just have 1 blanket. You might have 2 blankets. I didn't say this on the other side, but I believe I did beach pose in the class for too much sitting, or one of the other yin videos. So beach pose is always an option if this doesn't feel right for your knees. Beach pose can also be 90-90 pose or something like that. If you practice with me, you know. The other option is to just go on your back and do the thread the needle position. So take a few breaths up first. And then when you're ready, as you exhale slowly, please don't rush into it, slowly make your way down and support yourself. So this side's gonna feel different probably. I know I had to adjust the block a little bit more under my chest. You know, for some of us that's gonna be kind of a weird feeling. If you need to put a blanket on the block, that might feel better. And then a block under the forehead. And if you're targeting at about the 3rd eye or right above the eyebrow center, middle of the forehead area, it's a really nice way to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system as well. So if you feel any pressure in the forehead, just allow it. Notice how it feels. It'll soften. It's quite relaxing. It's an acupuncture or acupressure point. So just take a deep breath in to wherever you're feeling this and exhale, relax the whole body. Breathing in, aware of the sensations in the body. Breathing out, relax the whole body. Inhale, let, exhale, go. And stay here and breathe. I won't talk, I'll let you just be. Sometimes 5 minutes feels a lot longer on the second side, but you can do it. Sthira Sukham Asanam. Effort without tension, relaxation without dullness. You'll notice the sensations change. Just notice the changes. They'll soften, they'll get stronger, they'll move around. Your only job is to observe, to allow. Take one more breath and then you can slowly rise. Take your time, take a little stretch. And yes, we're recording this in Mexico, so sometimes there's some background sounds here. When you're ready, you can release and let it go. Come to your hands and knees. You can stretch out your legs. You can take a down dog. You can do nothing. You can just rest in child's pose or on your belly. But focus on some nice clearing exhales. You can even shake out your head, let go, reset. And shoelace on the other side. So however you like to get into it, I like to start from my hands and my knees, and I'm going to bring the right leg on top in front of the left, right leg in front of left now. You can do this on your back, same position. I think I have a blanket, underneath me. It just elevates me a little bit, creating a little space, and mostly so I can sit evenly. You might choose to be even higher on some blocks. This is going to give your knees some space. If you have a lot of space between the front knees, you can place a blanket or block there. Take a few breaths, settle in, adjust. This is a stronger pose, so just notice and try to soften as much as you can. Remember, you can always straighten out that bottom leg. Now we're going to move into our twist. So inhale and exhale over to the right. Doesn't have to be super deep. Just a little stimulation for those internal organs. Inhale and exhale. Relax the mouth, relax the jaw. And one more breath, and you can slowly unwind. Take a breath in the center, and then we'll move into the side twist. So again, if you liked that support underneath you, make sure it's beside you. Inhale the right arm up and over, and resting the left hand or arm on the ground or some props. Especially like if going all the way to the ground isn't an option, you just bring the floor up to meet you. That's all we're doing. So support the body however you need so you can be in your pose. We're all gonna look different in these poses. That's really important to remember. There's no one optimal way to look. So right arm is reaching up and over, and we're just breathing deeply into that right side. Feel free to rest the hand behind the head, or you can always rest the bottom hand on your head like you're holding your head up. Just relax. And then we come up and we fold forward when we're ready. So you don't have to fold forward, especially if folding forward doesn't feel good for you. You just sit and let the sensations soften there. Otherwise, you walk your hands forward, coming to the floor or a block. You can rest your head, you can let it hang. Deep breath in. Full exhale out, let it go. And I can't stress enough, if this pose does not feel good for your knees, please take a different option on your back. Stretch out your bottom leg, or just rest and wait for us to move on. If you rest on your back, we'll meet you there. Stay here for a few breaths, softening any amount anywhere in the body. Just notice the sensations, how they change. Nothing stays the same. Nothing lasts forever. Always flowing, always changing. When you're ready, you can slowly make your way up. And however it feels best, you can release. I'm just going to bring my legs in front here and release them. Give them a little shake, a little wiggle, a little rock side to side. Again, you can just pause and do nothing. So rest as long as you need, otherwise we're going to make our way down to our backs. And just take a couple breaths here, just again to reset. Take a few deep belly breaths. Just observe, be the observer, notice how the body feels. Take a few clearing breaths. Exhale more than you have all class. And the next pose we're going to become aware of after a few more breaths is banana asana. Banana pose. So we're going to start with arms overhead and we're going to curve over to one side. It doesn't really matter which side you're going over to. I'm going to go over to the left first because that's going to target the liver side first. So with my upper body, I curve over to the left as much as I can. And then when I can't go anymore, I walk my legs over, my feet over to the left. So I'm creating this C shape with the body. I'm not lifting the hips. I'm not rolling to one side. It's a curve. And then you can cross right ankle over left or left over right. I'm just going to start with left over right. It's a little gentler. And then as my body kind of releases, I can cross right over left. You're going to feel a deep stretch through the right side of the body, again targeting that liver side of the body. But you might feel it through the armpit, the chest, the waist, the hip, the leg. Wherever you're feeling it is where you need to feel it. So take a deep breath into the right lung and let it go. This pose is a great stretching of the gallbladder meridian line and of the fascia that runs along the whole right side. If your arms at any point or hands feel tingly, Maybe you don't want to hold that too long. You might need to place some support under the arms or hands, or you can always just lower the arms and stay in the pose. Take a deep breath into the right side and a full exhale, letting go. Stay here and breathe. Take a few more deep breaths into the right side of the body. Make sure your head and neck are soft and relaxed. And you can slowly just lower the arms and make your way back to center, to a neutral position, and just rest here. Relax the arms and legs and take a few deep belly breaths. Exhale through your mouth to really let go. And just notice how one side feels different than the other. Soften the lines in the forehead. And we'll set up for the other side. So again, my arms go overhead if that's okay for you. I curve the upper body over to the right side now. I'm still more or less flat on the ground though. And then I walk my legs, my heels over to the right as well. And I'm in this curved shape, this banana shape. You can cross your right ankle over your left or left over right. And just know that right over left is going to be a little less intense. Left over right is going to be stronger. So if you're not there yet, don't do it. If you're feeling it, you're doing it. That's what my teacher Bernie Clark always says. If you're feeling it, you're doing it. Listen to your body. Your body knows. You know if you've gone too far or if you haven't gone far enough. It's about finding that space in the middle. So we're feeling it now through the left side of the body, the stomach spleen side of the body. Breathing deeply into those organs. Breathing into the left lung, the left armpit, the waist, the hip, With each exhale, you soften more and more. You let go of whatever you don't need right now. Stay here and breathe. We're releasing tension from the body so this flow of energy can flow with ease, releasing stagnation from the tissues of the body. This pose is so nice, especially if you've been sitting a lot. Breathing in, aware of the sensations in the body. Exhale, relax the body. Relax the mouth, the eyes. You'll know where you hold tension without even realizing it. It's just about bringing our awareness back to these points and softening every time we notice. Here for just a few more breaths. Try to focus on that exhale, the release. And then when you're ready, you can lower the arms, walk yourself back to neutral. Might feel strong when you come out. It's a fairly intense pose, and then just take a few breaths without moving in the center, in a Shavasana-like position. Again, just notice the body. How do both sides feel? Do you notice tingling, temperature? Has your breath changed? It might feel good to bring the knees in at this point, giving yourself a little massage on your back, rocking side to side, or taking circles with your knees in both directions, one and then the other, one direction and then the other. Now we are going to end with a twist, a spinal twist, and I just am grabbing a prop so that I can rest my knees. So shift your hips to the right on your back, and then bring your knees in, and then allow your knees to drop over to the left. And by placing something under your knees or between your knees or legs, a bolster, a block, blanket, whatever you have, again, it's just bringing the floor up to hold you so you don't have to force anything. You don't have to use props. You might hold that top thigh down with your left hand. You might open the right arm to the right. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let it go and allow. This is such a nice pose to do at the end of the practice because it just helps to restore balance to the nervous system. It releases any tension along the spine. Of course, any twist you're in is massaging the internal organs. I'm going to place 2 blocks under me, under my feet and my knees, so my feet aren't hanging down lower. That feels better for me. Inhale and exhale deeply. And just feel the flow of breath moving through your body. Know that you're freeing up this subtle chi energy. Inhale, let exhale go. Just letting your body and mind unwind. We're going to make our way to the other side. So you can come up and take a few breaths. Reset, and then you'll eventually shift your hips to the left slightly. It's not a big shift, just a little shift over to the left after you've taken a few breaths in the middle. And then you let your knees drop over to the right. So you can bring them in as close as you can, or you can keep them low with feet on the ground. It doesn't matter. But they drop over to the right. Your left arm might be out. You might hold the top thigh down with the right hand. Wherever you are, you're taking a deep breath in and a full breath out. And again, just allowing the body and the mind to unwind as we near the end of the practice today. And if you notice yourself distracted with any sounds, like to just let my attention move from sound to sound without focusing on any one. And it kind of becomes a sound meditation. You notice sound and you move on. You don't give anything meaning that you notice. You don't give it a meaning. You just notice it and breathe. Again, breathing in, you're aware of sensation in the body. Breathing out, you continue to relax the body for a few more breaths. Little by little, letting go of any tension you're still holding on to. And if you notice emotions arise in Yin Yoga or any practice of yoga, it's fairly normal. We're moving in to move it out. So you're going to release that twist by coming up. Take a few more breaths in the center if you want, knees in, and then maybe nose to knees, a couple breaths. And just pausing for a couple breaths. And we're going to make our way then into Shavasana, final resting pose. So get comfortable, use whatever you want, use all the props. You can put some cushioning under the head. I like to just gently grab the back of my head at my occiput, the bottom of the skull, and gently lengthen out, like you're pulling slightly, elongating the neck, and then just place it back down. Any props under the body that you want, maybe a bolster under the knees or a blanket on top. Take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, hold. And through the mouth, exhale, let it go. Again, inhale, 2, 3, hold. And as you exhale, release. Release whatever you don't need right now. Like I was saying, we hold experiences in the body. So we're releasing the emotions from those experiences with this practice. Inhale and exhale. While you relax, I'm going to read you a poem. Sadness will knock. Let it. Anger will arise. Face it. Helplessness will wash over you. Allow it to. Grief will take you down to the floor. Stay there. You'll bargain or obsess because it's uncomfortable. That's how it is. This is part of the deal. Trust me though, once it washes over you, and it will in waves, sometimes over and over, light will crack through. Peacefulness and power are resting in your heart. When you slip through these cracks and rest there for a moment, you will feel a freedom in your body, if only for a day or an hour. Don't resign. Don't do nothing. Now's the time to create change and to see our shared light cracking through. But at the same time, accept. Don't resist. Even though it's the hardest thing we'll ever do, the more we surrender to the present, the more we allow these rays of light to crack through, the more we will remember that is who we are. And we are always there, with power in our palms and peace in our hearts. And there in that space, we can rise up and illuminate. Feel free to stay here this whole time as long as you want. Or you can start to wiggle the fingers and toes and stretch out the body and take a few deep cleansing breaths. Take any movement that feels good for you before rolling over to one side, and it doesn't matter which side. Maybe taking a moment of gratitude for whatever you're thankful for today. When you're ready, you can slowly press yourself up just to that comfortable seated position again. You can close your eyes and bring your palms together. Take one more cleansing breath out, let it go. And with palms together, bring the thumbs to the forehead, loving thoughts, thumbs to mouth, loving words, thumbs to heart, loving actions. Thank you for taking time for yourself today. Namaste. Thank you and have a beautiful rest of your day. Look for the beauty